More than 50% of the Indian women of reproductive age and 70% of the children between the age 6 months to 2 years are anemic. And in spite of government's efforts, these numbers have not changed much in the last 10 years. So what are we not doing right? Is iron intake the only way to fix this? Check this video for everything you need to know about anemia and how to make sure that you stay away from it. I am Apurva Joshi, a foodie and a clinical nutritionist. You are watching a video by Unbox Nutrition. There was a blood donation drive in an affluent South Mumbai college for women. The target donors were girls between the age 18 to 21 or more. They had to be checked for issues like thalassemia or anemia before accepting blood. Almost all of the girls were found to be anemic and hardly anybody could donate. Now these aren't girls from rural area or underprivileged backgrounds, and yet all of them were anemic. That's when the college decided to intervene, and I was a part of the nutrition camp held to educate them about anemia and inculcate good eating habits that can sustain over a long time. So here is everything I learned in the process that can help all of us. What is anemia? Red blood cells in our body carry oxygen. Anemia is a condition in which there are insufficient number of red blood cells, and consequently their oxygen carrying capacity is insufficient to meet the needs of the body. How do we know whether a person has anemia? As per WHO, the diagnosis criteria is based on a blood test called hemoglobin. So if the hemoglobin of an adult woman is under 12 or a man is under 13, he or she is considered to be anemic. And you can see the criteria for all the other age groups in this table. However, to decide which type of anemia, it may require more tests. For example, to diagnose iron deficiency anemia, your doctor may ask you to test ferritin or some other iron-based test. To diagnose pernicious anemia, your doctor may ask you to test vitamin B12. Or to diagnose megaloblastic anemia, your doctor may ask you to test folates. So even though hemoglobin is used to diagnose whether a person has anemia, there may be more tests required to diagnose which type of anemia. What are the symptoms of anemia? The symptoms of anemia include fatigue, weakness, dizziness, pale skin, shortness of breath, cold hands and feet, or headaches. Now if you notice, the symptoms are pretty generic and can occur in a lot of other diseases too. So unless you test, you may not be sure whether your symptoms are due to anemia or something else. Let's have a look at the causes and treatment for anemia. There are multiple causes of anemia like thalassemia, autoimmune diseases, radiation or chemotherapy, all of which require a diagnosis and treatment as advised by your healthcare practitioner. However, the focus of this video is to talk about causes which are nutrition related. So let's have a look at which nutrients are involved and what are the reasons for their deficiency. The main nutrients that are required to prevent anemia are iron, vitamin B12, folic acid and vitamin C. However, majority of anemia is due to iron deficiency. Why does one get deficient on iron? The top 4 reasons are reduced absorption, increased losses, increased requirement or reduced intake. Let's have a look at each one of them. First one is reduced absorption. The causes for reduced absorption are parasite infections like worms, excessive smoking, having tea or coffee with meals containing iron, presence of anti-nutrients like phytates in your food, and taking antacids regularly. The second one is increased losses. If one has heavy blood loss during a surgery or during menses or in an event of internal bleeding, it can lead to iron deficiency. Third one is increased requirement. The causes for increased requirement include pregnancy. In pregnancy, the blood volume increases and so should the RBCs, for which the requirement of iron is increased. Also, when one starts menstruating, more blood is lost and more RBCs need to be generated every month, which requires more iron. The fourth one is reduced intake. When you reduce your intake from iron containing foods like green leafy vegetables or non-vegetarian foods, which typically happens around monsoon, the iron intake drops. Even when your intake of other vitamins like vitamin B12, folic acid and vitamin C is low, it can lead to anemia. Let's have a look at the treatment options. The treatment can be different based on the cause of the anemia. It is definitely advised to seek medical opinion to know the cause and the treatment. Your doctor may treat you with pharmaceuticals if the cause is not dietary or you have severe anemia. However, in cases where the cause is nutrition deficiency and the anemia is mild, it is best to stick to dietary changes. Also, in the long run, it is important to develop eating habits to prevent anemia from coming back again. So let's have a look at the different solutions. First one is to increase the quality and quantity of dietary iron. How much do we need? Here is the recommended intake as per ICMR. So you can see that an average adult woman who is neither pregnant nor lactating needs about 21 milligrams of iron per day. That's what we mean by quantity. Now what do we mean by quality? Dietary iron is of two types, heme and non-heme. Heme iron is mainly found in animal sources like meat, egg, poultry, fish, etc. The iron present in these sources is more readily absorbed by the body and has fewer inhibitors in the process. Non-heme iron is mostly found in plant sources like green leafy vegetables, seeds, beans, etc. Non-heme iron is not as readily absorbed as heme iron. Iron in these sources is in a form which needs to be accompanied by vitamin C or lactic acid to be easily absorbed. Therefore, plant-based sources should always be combined with amla, capsicum or even some curd for better absorption. Presence of heme iron also increases the absorption from the non-heme sources. So if you ate green leafy vegetables with a side of meat, the absorption can be better. If you want to know more on this, my Instagram and Facebook pages have a post on heme and non-heme iron, the sources of each along with the sources of vitamin C as well. I am listing the links for these in the comment section. Second one is to use iron vessels to cook your food. Believe it or not, in a study performed on anemic women with a history of failed pregnancies, when they could not increase the iron intake through food, they asked these women to start putting a piece of iron in their food while it was being cooked. And that helped them to increase their iron intake and get rid of anemia. So while you can do that too, an easier way to achieve it would be to just use cast iron pans or tawas to make your food. Third one is to include sources of vitamin B12, vitamin C and folic acid. Most of us may know that vegetarians tend to be deficient on vitamin B12. Most of the sources of this vitamin are non-vegetarian. The vegetarian sources are limited to fermented or sprouted foods and some dairy products. So make sure to include enough sources or ask your healthcare provider on whether you need to take a supplement. Folic acid can be had through non-vegetarian foods like poultry, meat and fish, or vegetarian foods like beans and lentils, green leafy vegetables, seeds or more. For vitamin C, we commonly know only amla, lemon and oranges, but there are many more sources like guava, capsicum, green leafy vegetables and more. You can refer to this post on my page for those. Next one is to use foods that are fortified with iron and other vitamins and minerals. Look for this sign on the packages that you buy. You can easily find wheat flour or even rice which is fortified with these. The next thing is phytates in foods. So in foods like grains, seeds, nuts, etc., phytates reduce the absorption of iron. To overcome the anti-nutrient activity of phytates, heating, soaking, sprouting or fermenting are the processes that can help. Avoid excessive smoking and also don't have tea or coffee with the meals containing iron. If you have mild acidity, try to work on natural remedies and lifestyle changes rather than resorting to antacids all the time. If you want to know how to do this, drop me a message and I can help you out. Deworm yourself regularly as per your doctor's recommendation and maintain good hygiene practices to avoid getting frequent infections. So that's all you need to know about anemia and how to keep yourself away from it. If you found it useful, please do me a favor, share your learning with someone who doesn't have access to this. It could be your house helps, their children, or any other members of the society who are probably at a higher risk than you. WHO aims to reduce anemia by 50% by 2025. So we can do our bit to help achieve that. If this video has helped you, please like it and share it with someone who can benefit from it. If you are interested in knowing what's the next aspect of your health that you can work on, subscribe to the channel. Drop me an email on unboxednutrition@gmail.com for any personal queries. I will be back with another video for you very soon. Until then, keep unboxing nutrition with me.